Being accused of a crime is never good. Being falsely accused is even worse. But when your accuser is a child, you may find that a difficult, life-altering experience. People want to know why children say things that aren't true. Sometimes it's as simple as the children believe that, even though it's not true. Sometimes that's a result of a parent or other person manipulating the child to say the things that they're saying, and sometimes it's the result of really bad questioning by somebody who should be a professional and should know better. Whatever the reason is, if you're facing a child allegation of criminal sexual conduct or any other crime where a child is likely to testify in court, you're going to need the help of a really good, really experienced criminal defense attorney who knows how to deal with children in the courtroom. Our job is to level the playing field. We'll make sure that you're treated fairly by the police, that you're treated fairly by the prosecutor, and that you're treated fairly by the court. We'll work with you to develop a defense that makes sense, and we'll plot a course to get you towards the result that you're looking for.
What's good, everybody? This your boy, Tonyrealthegod, man. Welcome back to Tonyrealthegod Chronicles. I'm glad that y'all could tune in, man, on this great show that I have for y'all tonight. All right? And stick around at the end of the show. I'll have bonus clips for y'all, all right? And hopefully y'all learn something from those clips, all right? Because it's very important that y'all stick around to see those bonus clips, all right? Now, just to let y'all know, before I get started, please follow me on my platforms, TikTok and Twitter and Twitch, all right? All right, Twitch is the same thing. I'm doing the same thing on Twitch, and I post on Twitter and TikTok, all right? Different stuff. All right, so, and don't forget to subscribe to your boy, Tonyrealthegod Chronicles, right here, all right? Right here, and turn on your bell notifications. Do not forget to do that. Also, go to my second channel, Tonyrealthegod Reacts. All right, I'm actually on there doing some reactions and, you know what I mean, you know, having some fun with y'all, laid back, chilling, you know what I'm saying, you know, being cool, you know what I mean. I just want y'all to know that your boy Tonyrealthegod is not always serious. I like to have fun too. So make sure y'all check out my channel, Tonyrealthegod Reacts, all right? And also think about becoming a member on my Tonyrealthegod Reacts YouTube channel and get you some exclusive perks, all right? Exclusive perks, okay? Now let's get right down to business. Let me just say this before I get started, all right? Let you know I will be talking for the next 30 minutes, okay? If you don't want to hear me talk for the next 30 minutes before I start showing y'all the clips and all this stuff like that, then you are welcome to go somewhere else and enjoy someone else's show. Because this is a show, y'all. This is a show. If you ever watched TV before and saw talk shows where people talk, okay, people talk and talk and talk, or if you watched a TV show where you know, you're watching a TV show, a series, people talking and talking and talk, this is what this is. This show is based on podcasting. I do interviews and all that. So if you'd like to be a guest on my show, go ahead and hit me up on my email. It's tonyreal0044@gmail.com. All right? If you didn't hear that part, just rewind it and I'll say it to you again. Just rewind this video. All right? All right. So, and also, you know, I do this because I enjoy doing this, y'all. I enjoy bringing y'all this content. But the show is based off podcasts, general information, religion, and multimedia information as far as celebrity news, government issues, stuff like that. You know, and I really don't talk much about the government because it's just pointless at this point. But I'll be talking for the next 30 minutes and I'll be, you know, pretty much, you know, breaking down and talking, you know what I'm saying, about, the show today, basically CPS. And as you can see, CPS has become one of the worst agencies in America. One of the worst government agencies in America. All right. Now, I'll be watching the clock to make sure I see my 30 minutes. Right now, I'm only 3 minutes in, 3 to 4 minutes in. So that way, y'all be like, oh, he's been talking longer than 30 minutes. Oh, well, you be all right. If I do go over 30 minutes, that's cool. It's a show, people. It's a show. Okay? It's a show. I talk. This is a show. It's all right. I'm a host. I'm hosting my show. Okay? All right? So relax, everybody. Now, CPS has become, the worst agency, the worst government agency in America. Why is that, people? Why is that? People have been in so much controversy dealing with CPS. So much controversy. And it's really sad that you got all these people in this country that has dealt with CPS legally, over nonsense. It seems like that people that really don't deserve CPS in their lives or their families are getting CPS. But the people that deserve CPS aren't getting CPS. Isn't that strange? I think that this agency needs to be either shut down and another agency should apply itself or be built or whatever to do better, or the entire agency should be retrained and reframed and all of that to do a better job. Now, a lot of y'all probably would disagree with me. Doesn't matter. You can disagree all you want. It's not going to change my damn opinion about what I think. That's up to you. Make your own opinion on what you think. Now, I've had my experience with CPS. Yes, I have. I have children. I've had my experiences. And I got to tell you that the experiences that I've had with CPS has not been good experiences. People have lied on me. People have lied about things my kids have said and did. I mean, I have been lied on so much. It's like basically somebody really hate me. Somebody really hate me. I guess because your boy Tonyrealthegod is so straight up and straightforward. I don't cut no corners with people. I don't sugarcoat things. So people that tend to dislike you for some things, they tend to want to hurt you. They tend to hate you and shit. And they want to hurt you and shit and come after you and come after your kids and stuff and try to say, oh, you abusing. Man, they didn't try to say I abused my kids, gave my kids drugs, all kinds of mess, y'all. So I can relate to anyone that has had a problem with CPS or with people being around you to the point where they call CPS because they just don't like the way you raise your children. I can care less if a person don't like how I raise my kids. I raise my kids with structure, honor and loyalty and respect, which they should have for me and each other and for others. So I don't think there's anything wrong about being hard on my children and being strict with my kids because I don't want them to be out here on no crazy mess and they get hurt out here or lose their life out here. I believe in my children. I want them to have a future because a lot of kids don't fucking make it. Excuse my language. I'm trying not to be cursing on here, y'all. But I get passionate. I'm very passionate, all right, about this and about what I do to bring this information to y'all, to bring, this content. Because people like myself and those that can relate to this problem with CPS, with the government, need to hear this. This is one for the ages. So yeah, I've had my problems. I've had my situations. So don't watch this show thinking, oh, I'm just doing this just for clout. No, I'm not. I'm doing this to help those who has been through what I have been through and has been hurt by the very system that a person like myself and others thought to believe it was made to help them. And I have come to a conclusion a long time ago that this system wasn't made for me no damn way, me or my children. And I'm happy to say that I'm still with my kids and my kids are still with me. And we are one big happy family. We're at peace. Well, for now we are. And, you know, I have cut off all of those bad people that were in my circle and around me. I have stayed away from people, kept people away from my kids because I don't want any more problems. I don't need any more issues. You have people that will call CPS on you just for the hell of it because they don't like your ass. People will call CPS on you just for the hell of it because they don't like how you do things. This is what people do. See, it's not the world, the planet itself that's the problem. It's the people within the planet that's the problem. Evil, sadistic, sinister people that will do anything out of desperation to hurt you because they don't like you, because they hate you, because they feel that you are a bad person. This is what people do. Most people, not all people, but this is what a lot of people do. They will use the system against you, to hurt you, to harass you, to destroy you, to put you in a position that you will have to you will have to be looking over your shoulder and behind your back for the rest of your life because you don't know what's going to happen next. You don't know what's about to happen next in your life because you have ugly, evil, nasty people that want to fucking hurt you every chance they get. And they won't leave you alone because they hate you that much. When they got to make up all sorts of fabricated lies and fabricated information just to hurt you. And they don't stop there. After they didn't hurt you enough by attacking your heart, which is with your children, they go after your life and try to throw criminal cases on you and shit. Like you a fucking criminal. What kind of crazy mess is this? This is ridiculous. And then they have their kids lying on you. They're lying on you. Their family lying on you. Their friends. They got people to help destroy you because they hate you so much, dislike you so much. And CPS, they get manipulated into believing these things and they come for you. They investigate. When you see a CPS investigator, you know you can treat them like the cops and not speak to them, right? Oh, y'all didn't know that, huh? A lot of y'all didn't know that. A lot of times people tend to just speak to them anyway because they don't have nothing to hide. They don't have nothing to lie about. They know that they're being fucked with. They know that they're being harassed. They know that they're being, manipulated. They know. And you have some people that refuse to talk to them at all. And what does CPS do? They go behind your back and try to go to your kids' school to talk to them. And then your kids say some shit that'll help them hurt you. Or you know what I'm saying? Or they try to say something about you. Oh, well, the father or the mother and the parent, they wouldn't corroborate. The grandparent wouldn't corroborate. So, we're just going to move forward with what we think and charge them with this and believe the other side. It's in your best intention to give your side of the story. But if you feel like you have no reason to speak to them, you have that right. But you got to remember, they will do everything in their power to hurt you. And what's sad is you have a agency, a government, federally funded agency that have broken so many laws, has gotten away with so many illegal things as far as kidnapping children and speaking to children without your permission. And they say that in the policy it says that they don't need your permission to speak to your kids. I beg to fucking differ. Yes, they do. Those are your children. The only time that they should be trying to speak to your kids without your permission is if they feel that there is imminent danger. But I still say they need permission, because why? How do they know that there is imminent danger? All because of the report that they got. See, words are powerful. Words are very, very powerful, y'all. And I always tell my kids, man, words matter. They do. And if you think they don't matter, then you try it for yourself. And see for yourself. Because it's really, really sad, y'all. It's really, really sad that we go through this type of mess with an agency that's supposed to be for the benefit of the children, but they're so busy looking at the parents and trying to see, whatever report they got, they just, most of the time, just believe it. Some workers have actually made up stories about the parents that were not true just so they can remove their children from their homes. Fabricated thousands of reports. And a lot of their asses were reported and their jobs and careers were taken away. Good fucking riddance. Y'all, we are in very, very bad times where people are trying to hurt us systematically. People will use everything they can as far as the privilege of their resources to harm you because they hate you, because they don't like you, or because they disagree with you. I say to you, do not let this type of stuff happen to you. Do not. This is so hard to bear. Very hard to bear when it comes to the type of pain that you would go through dealing with an agency that have damn near unlimited power. What on earth is going on? Have the resources to remove your biological children from your home by a fucking court order? Who the hell did this country think it is? These are our children. You have no right to try to take our children out of our possession. These are our kids. We laid there with that other person and got that, and got that woman pregnant. She pushed out all our children. We did that. They weren't there to witness that. Those are our kids. And it's sad that they have a system in place to remove your children because what they believe about a report. That's really ridiculous. A system put in place because of what they've heard about a report, and they think, okay, let's remove the children. Now, before they do that, they tend to come to your home to make sure your home's safe, want to look around, look in the whole house, the bedrooms and your kitchen, make sure you got food, all this mess. Like, the whole process is ridiculous to me. The whole process. And I believe that when people have children, people should mind their damn business. Especially a lot of you old motherfuckers. Yeah, I'm talking to you elders. The ones that think they know better than the young folk. I'm talking to y'all, you nosy, old, tired, stinking asses. Yeah, I'm talking to you, old people. Stay out of people's business. Mind your own old ass business. Go have some coffee. Go start you a goddamn citizen club or whatever. Mind your business, grandpa, grandma. Uncle Elroy, mind your damn business and leave people alone. I don't give a damn what you old people think. And this is, look here, I'm sorry for being disrespectful to my elders, because I'm not. But a lot of these situations and these cases come from a lot of you old folks. And also a lot of these cases come from a lot of you crazy ass women. You young women especially. You middle-aged women. Y'all use the system to hurt us men. That's what you do. And don't say that you don't. You use the system to hurt us. A lot of y'all use the system to hurt a lot of us men, because you can't have it your damn way. That man is not your slave. That is your child's or your children's father. Respect him. I don't give a damn what y'all going through. Respect him when it comes to those kids. And you men, you do the same for that woman. Respect her when it comes to those children. If y'all not getting along, those kids have nothing to do with y'all problem. They have nothing to do with that. They have nothing to do with your personal issues. So keep them kids from in the middle of your shit. Women, men, keep them kids out of your mess. Those kids do not deserve to be in that type of situation dealing with your asses. That is between you two adults. Those babies should not be in it. And that's a fact. And I'm going to say this again. You women, not all you women, but a lot of you women, stop using CPS to hurt your baby daddy, to hurt his heart. You know he loves his children, regardless if you feel like he don't. Trust me, he love them kids. So I'm talking to the ones that's hurting these men out here that actually love their children. I'm not talking to the ones, you know what I'm saying, that's getting their ass hurt. The ones that don't really love their kids. Them brothers or them women that don't really love their kids, hey, fuck them. That's why they're going through what they're going through. But the ones that actually do love their children and trying to be in their kids' life, I'm talking to you women that are sitting there putting those men in bad situations and trying to hurt them with those babies, and y'all using those kids to do it. You piece of sorry shit women. I'm talking to y'all. Not all of y'all, but I'm talking to those specifically. Those type of women. Stop using the system to hurt people. Because CPS, Child Protective Services, they're not there to help you with your family. And if you do happen to find some good agents that work for the agency that will try to help you keep your family together and not remove your children and not put charges on you and throw you in jail, those are good people. They have hearts. They have good hearts. They're good agents. And they're trying to help. But this show isn't about the good agents. This show is about the bad rep CPS has gained over time. That's what we talking about. We talk about the sick ass, rude, evil CPS. CPS has become a structure where people can lose their children, their jobs, their homes over a report that wasn't even thoroughly investigated. You have agents that have made false claims, false reports, all because they didn't get along with the parent during the investigation, or parents. You have parents that have lied even on their own family to put CPS in their lives. You have parents that have used their children to lie on their own family just to put CPS in their lives, to try to hurt them and get their kids taken away. In the same scenario, try to hurt them with police, calling the cops, putting a criminal case on them, all because of some things that their kids may have lied about, or that somebody that they know may have lied about, and they was foolish enough to believe the bullshit. It's really sad. And what's sad is when people say stuff, they just tend to just believe it and take action on people, and they're innocent. Don't even realize how innocent that person is, and you believe in whatever your child or children is saying about that person, or whatever your sister or brother is saying about that person, and you take action on that person, and that person is innocent the whole goddamn time. So you just basically ruined and destroyed that person's life for nothing because you are a foolish piece of shit who believes anything that come out your children's mouth or your family's mouth or your fucking friend's mouth. You just destroyed somebody for nothing. And what happens when you find out? Most of the time, you don't give a fuck. People like that don't give a fuck. What's done is done to them. And in their mind, at least I know what'll happen if they was to do that. At least I know it'll keep them from doing it if it ever did happen. Well, they can't now. Like, people think like that. Stupid, foolish people think like that. And I'll be letting y'all know something at the end of this show as well about me. It won't be very detailed, but I will be letting y'all know something about me at the end of the show right after the bonus clips. Okay? Just to give y'all a little bit more, relative information about this CPS shit, man. That's all. Don't worry, y'all. It ain't nothing terrible. I just want to give y'all a little bit more, all right? And how I can relate to what's going on with this CPS mess. So, I got to say, y'all, it's really, really sad that we have so many people using CPS against us, to hurt people, to hurt a lot of people, hurt their children, put their family in danger with a system that can care less about you or them. That's calling. This agency has destroyed many, many families, and they're not going to stop until someone stops them. This has become a very, very horrible agency, and I really wish this agency didn't exist. I do. Let people deal with their own kids and their own problems. Leave people alone, CPS. Leave people alone, nosy fucking neighbors, nosy friends, sneaky ass people sitting there coming around acting like they your friends, smiling in your face and they backstabbing you. Leave people the fuck alone, man. It don't matter if you don't fucking agree. Fuck you, shit. Fuck you. You piece of shit. Stop calling CPS on people. And you know who I'm talking to. I'm talking to you. Stop calling CPS on people. And don't be trying to be in my comments or email how about you cursing. I can curse. It's my damn show. I can curse if I want to. Like I said, if you rocking with me, rock with me. Let's get it. If you not, fuck off. Go find another show to watch. Because this show here is about realness and being straight up. And I'm not holding nothing back. I've been doing my show for quite some time. And I feel like the information that I have presented, as far as all the things that I've done with this show, has been legitimate and has been good for the brain. Information is powerful. Knowledge is powerful. And I'm glad that I can be the one to even bring information. You hear what I'm saying? So, CPS has fabricated, has scorned, has destroyed families. This agency cares nothing about what the fuck you want. Okay? Their obligation is the children. Your children is their product to make money. And they get paid even more when they remove the children out of your custody. It's about money, man. It's a whole game. It's a whole playbook to this shit. CPS has become the worst agency in America. The worst government agency in America. You see the title? It's true. It is true, y'all. They'll sit there and make it seem like the parent is unfit. The parents are unfit. The kids are in imminent danger. They're being abused. They're being sexually abused. They're being, they're malnourished. They're not eating enough. They don't have anything to eat. They come up with all kinds of speculations just so they can take your children and lie about the shit. Even the people that has called CPS on you will lie and say some shit like that. Oh, the kids are they giving the kids drugs. Oh, their kids are being sexually abused. Oh, their kids are being neglected. Oh, their kids are being physically abused. Oh, they're not feeding their kids. They don't have any food in their house. Their house dirty. Their house nasty. Like, say all kinds of fucking shit, man. All kinds of shit. But they wouldn't do it to themselves. Oh, yeah, they wouldn't lie on themselves. They wouldn't call on themselves. But they sit there and they create these narratives that aren't true about people. And even if some of the stuff is true that's going on, they continue to use that very system to destroy those people because they don't like those people. They don't like their situation. So they try to change their situation for their own perspective on what they feel is satisfactory to them. And that's why they call CPS. They use CPS to make a motherfucker do what they want, and that's not gonna happen. It's just gonna make that person come after your ass and hate you and want to whoop your ass. That's what it's gonna do. You don't go after people like that. You don't use this system to go after people. Y'all need to quit doing that. Quit doing that mess. Quit taking matters into your own hands, trying to hurt people. Stop that shit. And I'll say this here. If you have a situation where you feel that the situation is bad and you don't like it, don't be trying to call CPS on those people. Let them people deal with their own problems. The universe will deal with them. But that don't mean use the system that wasn't made for us anyway to hurt your own brothers and sisters. Stop doing that shit, people. Mind your business and stop trying to hurt others all because your ass feel hurt or because you disagree. Grow the fuck up. All right, so I've reached my 30-minute point. Are y'all ready for this clip? This clip is about a mother that was wrongfully accused of her child, of neglecting her child. Wrongfully accused by CPS. Okay? Now, I forget which state it was in, but I don't even think the clip even mentions the state that it's in. But if it does, that way, yeah, y'all will find out that way. But they took her child. She was wrongfully accused, but they took her child all because she didn't get the child checked out for a issue that was going on in the child's head, in the child's brain. Okay? But she didn't know until later on. She didn't have the money to help, her kid get an examination, an MRI for his head. She didn't have the money to even pay the doctor for the examination, and she was, put in a situation where she had to, where she lost her baby. Okay? They took her baby illegally. CPS took her baby, but she won the case against CPS and got, I think, either 1.3 or 3.1 million dollars. But still to this day, she can't even get her child. Even after she won that case, she still was not awarded her child. So I hope I ain't fucked that information up. So I'll let the clip speak it to y'all clearly. All right, y'all. So I want y'all to go ahead and enjoy this clip, and I'll be back with my final thoughts on that clip. And this is how it's going to be with every clip. I'm going to have something to say. All right? So enjoy the clip, and I'll be back with my final thoughts on that clip. Here you go.
Gina Silva shows us a story you'll only see here on Fox. It's taken this woman a long time for justice, Gina.
It certainly has. It is heartbreaking. This mother was awarded $3.1 million, but she says that money does not make up for all of the years that she lost with her baby.
Losing my son was the worst thing. It feels like someone literally took your heart and ripped it out.
Rafaelina Duval's baby Ryan was taken away when he was only 15 months old. Social workers from the LA County Department of Children and Family Services accused Duval of abusing her baby.
They allege willful and intentional starvation of a child with an E count, which is severe neglect.
Baby Ryan was thin and failing to thrive. Social workers put the blame on Duval, and without a warrant, he was removed from her custody on November 3rd, 2009. Sean McMillan is Duval's attorney.
The law is very clear, and they get training on this. You cannot seize a child from his parents unless there's an emergency.
Not only was baby Ryan taken away without a warrant, social workers ordered no reunification because they were concerned Duval had Munchausen syndrome by proxy. They claimed she would intentionally make her child sick to get attention. They based it on the fact that Ryan was small for his age, and Duval would take him to doctors hoping they could find what was wrong with him.
The issue was that we couldn't find what it was. And at the same time, the baby had just begun to his weight to be stagnant. I will come in for weight checks, but we couldn't find the cause.
Duval was only allowed monitored visitation, an hour and a half every 2 weeks.
I thought it was unfair. I tried to petition to the court to give me more time, but it was up to DCFS to give me more time. And I know that through them, they will never give me more time.
7 years have passed, and Duval still doesn't have custody of her child. But she's never stopped fighting for Ryan, who is now 8 years old. This week, a jury found DCFS social workers intentionally and willfully seized her child without a warrant, and did so with malice. Duval was awarded $3.1 million.
Money is not everything, and no money can ever satisfy how I feel.
But here's the thing, even though she has won this case, Lena is not getting custody of her boy. Lena, can you explain that? Because to most of us, it doesn't make any sense.
Unfortunately, the statements that the social workers provided to a juvenile judge led to the decision that I was harmful to my son. And therefore, the exit orders follow me through our family law proceedings. And unfortunately, I'm just suing the county to hold them accountable. I could never get whatever verdict I got yesterday into a family law and request.
You can't take the findings of this and say, Judge, take a look at this?
I can't. I've done so. I've tried so many times, and they have all those efforts have been denied.
So what is next for you, Lena?
Well, there was a part of our case that did not make it to the jury, and I plan to appeal that, which is the judicial deception, the fact that lying under penalty of perjury to a judge, it is against the law, and it needs to be countered.
Okay, and I understand you are helping other mothers now as well who are in similar situations.
I do. Following what happened to me, I do not wish this upon anyone. I have become an advocate for children with disability, parents with disabilities, and children wrongfully removed from unoffending families.
All right. Well, we certainly wish you luck and terribly sorry for everything that you've gone through.
Wow. Can y'all believe what you just heard about this mother? They illegally took her child from her. No probable cause, but it was probable cause enough for them from what they thought she was doing to her child, abusing her child. Really? Seized her child illegally. See, this is what I'm talking about. But she sure put their ass in their place when she charged that ass and got awarded $3.1 million. Congrats to that mother. But no amount of money can take away what they did to that woman. And then they got it to where there's no reunification? Even after it was proven that she was innocent of these charges against her about her baby, about her child. They ordered no reunification. An hour and a half every 2 weeks just to sit with her baby? What the hell? That is not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough for anyone to spend with their child. They illegally took her child against her will, all because they thought she was abusing her child. And she was not abusing her child. She's become an advocate for families, for women who has been wrongfully accused by CPS, who has been illegally attacked by CPS. Her civil rights were trampled, were destroyed. They hurt this woman. Prime example on why I'm telling y'all CPS is no fucking good. They hurt this woman, man. You can see the pain in this woman's eyes, the tears that she is shedding because she's going through this type of situation with people that thought that she was hurting her child. And the whole time she did no such thing. She did not hurt her baby at all. She was not abusing her child. But for them to sit there and go off for whatever they've heard or whatever they thought, and they just took her baby, seized her child illegally, they should be ashamed of themselves. Ashamed of themselves. Yes. More proof why CPS has become the worst agency in America. And this happened in LA, Los Angeles, California. This mother didn't deserve this. She didn't deserve this at all. Which is very, very fucking pathetic of an agency that think they're doing the right thing every goddamn time they hear about something toward a parent or what they think. It sounds like to me that they wanted to hurt this woman or whatever may have been going on with the woman at the time. They made it seem like it was hurting the child. They want to try to call it abuse. Fabricated lies. And I'm glad she's still taking that ass to court, for her other situation about them seizing her child legally. She's still trying to get her kid back. Still to this day. Now, I'm not sure how long ago it was, y'all, but I'm hoping that she did get her baby back. Her son back. She deserves him back. She continues to fight for him. And that is something that I will continue to do for my children. I will continue to fight until the day I fucking die. That's just how it is. And that's how much I love my children. This is real love, what you witnessed in that clip. That's real love for your child. That's the kind of love you're supposed to have for them. Regardless of what you're going through, you need to love them that hard. Protect them that hard from a system that wants to see you fail. That wants to hurt you anyway. They don't give a damn about how you feel. Because they're so busy trying to raise your child for you when you are the one that can do the job better than them. They don't know your child. They don't know you. Only thing they feel they know is what they think as far as their bullshit opinion. And they were wrong for what they did to this woman. She got $3.1 million out their ass, though. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. See, I love when we win. I love when we can beat them at their own game. I love when we can play the system the way they would play us. Sometimes you have to use the very system strategy that they use against you, against them. Sometimes you do. You have to get knowledgeable about how the laws work. Know your information, people. You have to be knowledgeable about how to fight back. You can't just let them step all over you and destroy you and defeat you and then just walk away like, oh, that's it. We got them. They ain't gonna do shit. No, you better fight back. You better fight back. And that is a fact. Fight back, people. This woman is fighting for her child. She loves her child, and she will not give up. And that's just a fact. A real fact. So, excuse me. I'll say this to y'all. If you have ever went through with what this woman has went through with her own child, with CPS, the evil agency, I want you to use this as an example and gather the strength, men, women, and you fight for your children. You fight. You do not stop. You do not give up. You never stop. Never stop. You hear me? You never stop. Excuse me, y'all, my nose itching. You never stop fighting for your kids. Even when they're adults, you still gotta fight for them. It doesn't stop, man. You don't stop being a parent when your children are grown. No, you don't. You're supposed to still support them. Still fight for them. Hopefully, they'll do the same for you. Fight for you. Hopefully. Not all kids, are close to their parents. Some kids just won't do that. But this woman is living proof that you do not ever give up on your children. You do not let a system that has destroyed your family get away with what they've done. You make sure you correct it with all your power in you and your ability. You correct it or die trying. You do not stop fighting because they feel you should. Because they have intimidated you. Never let the system intimidate you. Excuse me, y'all. Nose. Never let the system intimidate you. And clearly this woman is fighting. She is no longer intimidated. She is fighting back. And I hope that she was able to get her child back. I hope she was able to do that. My message to that sister, great job, sister. Keep up the great work, and you keep fighting for those who can't fight for themselves. And I hope you get your child back. The universe is very rewarding for that sister. Keep up the great work, sister. So now, y'all, make sure y'all always remember, don't give up. Fight for your kids, just like this sister is doing. Use it as a lesson that's learned. All right, y'all? Take from that strength, knowing that you must never give up. So, this next clip I have for y'all is pretty much a woman. She starts recording the CPS investigator that came to our home about her son. And the CPS investigator didn't like that. So, watch this, y'all. Enjoy this clip, and then I'll come back with my final thoughts on it.
Okay.
Hi.
Hello. Yes.
My name is Ida. A
Okay.
report had came in, so I just wanted to go over
A
everything.
report of what?
I'm going to read everything to you right now.
Okay. No, listen.
Listen.
Mm-mm.
Don't. Okay. Is
Come
this
on.
your son?
Yes, it's my
Okay.
son.
We're here to ensure the safety of the child.
He is very safe.
Okay. Is there a reason you're recording this?
Absolutely.
That's what she does.
Do you feel safe in the home?
Me?
Yes.
Pretty good.
Okay.
This is more about me than.
Okay. When you're ready, we could proceed. I'll read to you what came in.
You can do it now.
I'm not doing it now.
Then we can't do this.
Okay.
Because
Let
I
me
don't
call
have,
my
no,
phone number
wait.
For you,
Let me tell you, what's your name again?
Ida
Okay, what's your last name?
Santos.
All right, Miss Santos. I've been dealing with CPS for 4 years. I'm actually in the process of filing a mega $1 million lawsuit against CPS.
You're
Okay.
aware that when a report comes in,
I'm
that we
aware of
have to
exactly
come out
what
and
you
go
need
over
to
the
do.
allegations with
I'm
you.
exactly. So why don't you read the allegations
I'm not
to me?
doing it this way.
So how do you want to do it? Because this is the
Or you
only
can
way
put the
it's
camera
going to
down,
get
we can
done.
speak, or if you would like to come to the office. If you
I
have
am
an
not going
attorney,
anywhere.
You could come to the office on Monday.
No, I am not going anywhere. I have every right in the state of New York, okay, to record whenever I'm confronted with a situation. Anyone in the state of New
I don't agree
York.
to you recording me.
Doesn't matter. The state of New York allows, so you
All right,
know,
so you do not
since
wanna
you're with
proceed
CPS,
with-
excuse me.
So do you not
Since
wanna
you're with
proceed
CPS, so
with-
you know, the state of New York allows for any individual in a two-party
This
situation
isn't why I'm
to
here, ma'am.
record.
I'm
So
here
then
to
tell
check
me
on
why
the
you're
safety
here.
of your child.
My son
There's
is very
allegations
safe.
that came in
Of what?
that he should be residing in Florida with his father.
No.
You have
No.
custody of him?
Nope.
Where are you?
Can you believe it? The state of New York, CPS in the state of New York, went to this woman's home for a report. And she has been dealing with CPS for 4 years. More than likely false allegations of her son. And whoever that, it was a man in the background as well responding. Asking the child, do you feel safe? She put her camera up to record, the investigator's visit and for her to read the allegations because she wanted to get it on recording, which is her First Amendment right to do so. And she didn't have to let her in her home. Oh, no, she didn't. But she let her in her home, but she thought by letting her in the home, she wasn't going to record that. And the minute that camera came up, oh, no, ma'am, no, I'm not going to do this. Too bad. We have every right to record police, any government official, okay? Even the fucking neighbor if we want to, or whatever's going on outside. We have a right to record, okay? It's called freedom of the press. We have a right to do that. She thought she was going to come into this woman's home and tell her about a case and allegations towards her without her getting it on record. She's been going through so much for the last 4 years with allegations toward her about her son, and she thought that she was just supposed to lay down and take it. Well, I am sorry, Ida Santos, CPS worker from New York. That's just how it goes. And you're getting just what you deserve. Some of you will say, well, Tony, how can you say these things about her? Like, she's just doing her job. Yeah, but she's also not considering the fact that she's been going through this for 4 years. So I know the woman saw the history. I know she checked her background and saw the 4-year history with CPS. So no, I show no mercy for that. Obviously, there is due process. I get it. There's due process. There is due process. I get it. But why should she continue to be patient and cooperative with an agency that has been harassing her and tormenting her over allegations that aren't true about her son? And then she said, oh, well, isn't he supposed to be in Florida? Really? Like she kidnapped her kid. Well, do you have custody? And then the man in the background was like, nope. You know, I guess she was talking to him. But I'm sure that the mother has custody or joint custody. And this has to do with an ex, maybe the baby daddy, on some bullshit and trying to screw over his baby mama and use the system to hurt her. So yeah, it don't just happen to us men. We got some messed up men out here that'll use the system to hurt women too. Like I said from the beginning. It's ridiculous that we still go through the same turmoil with the same bull crap for the same mess because people can't seem to get their head out of their ass long enough to see the truth. They're so bent. Some people are so bent on hurting people that they won't even move on with their life because they're miserable as hell. That's what's wrong with a lot of people. Miserable. Will get you into tough situations for what? And get you put in jail for some shit that they fabricated and said about you. That's not even true. Why, people? Why do some people still have to be so hateful, man? And ugly and nasty? Just terrible people, man. You know, I want y'all to realize, I want you to realize something. There is so much more to life than being miserable and hurting people. There's so much more to life. Life is so beautiful. It's so precious. But some of y'all can't help but waste it away on pointless actions toward others to hurt people because you're a miserable piece of crap. What is your problem? Leave people alone, man. All because of what people think about you. Oh, well, I'm going to call CPS. I'm going to call the cops. I'm going to put them in jail. I'm going to throw charges on them and get them put in jail. Just ruin their life because of all of what you think. Y'all think that that's a suitable thing to do to people? Do you? Last time I checked, the suitable thing to do when you don't like somebody is to leave them alone. Go the other way. Go the other direction. Now, we don't know what may have transpired the last 4 years of this woman having CPS in her life. We don't know the actual facts. But what we do know is that CPS is being used to hurt her. We do know that. Just from that clip. We do know someone's trying to hurt her, the baby daddy or the family. Somebody. They're trying to hurt her. Trying to get her son taken away from her. And she's not laying down and taking it. Good for her. Because she's not supposed to. She's not supposed to lay there and just take an undeserving ass whooping that she don't deserve. So, I'm going to tell you that if you are having this problem where you are constantly having to deal with CPS, I say seek help, and get it to stop. Like I said from the beginning, it went on for years with me. Many times CPS had been called on me. Many times. Since my children were fucking born. And I'm tired of it. So now that I am tired of it, actions have been taken. And that's the reason why I will no longer have to deal with these people again. Actions have been taken, and I will make sure as a parent that it doesn't happen again. And that's the reason why the actions that have been taken, I no longer actually have to deal with them anymore, because people are evil, and because I was smart to keep me and my kids away from everybody. Do that. Protect your family. Protect what's yours. Don't allow anyone to try to get your children taken away from you because of what they think or how they feel. Because they evil, miserable ass can't seem to get it through their head that you're not a bad person. But because of their experience with you, they feel that, oh, you're unfit to do this job. Who the fuck are you to make that judgment? You have any proof where I'm unfit? Do you? People think the very way you talk to your children makes you unfit. Oh yeah. So yes, this woman is taking the action that she's supposed to take to deal with these assholes. To deal with CPS. Oh yeah. Oh yes. It is being dealt with. People, it is being dealt with. And I got to say, she's doing the right thing by fighting back. She's doing the correct thing by fighting back. If this is you and you're going through this, just know, man, you're not the only one going through this. You're not the only one going through this. Many people like yourself are going through this. Many people. Do not be afraid to stand up for what you believe in and fight for your children. Fight for yourself. Fight for your safety and protection of your family. Do not be afraid to stand and fight. Do not be afraid. Record those assholes. Record them. You got every right to open that phone and start recording. You got a right to do that. Oh yeah. Every right. And if they don't think so, oh well, screw them. But she's doing the right thing, getting it documented so that she can fight these people because they've been a part of her life for 4 years over allegations that we can just say, you know, opinionatively, that's probably not true, but we don't know. So if y'all want to look into that clip, find out more, let me know in the comment section below. Keep fighting, people. So the next clip, I don't even have any words for this, but watch this next clip. This next clip is actually dealing with how a lot of these CPS caseworkers and investigators are not even doing their job. And this is a case that had happened out in Arizona, in the state of Arizona. So y'all be ready, and I'll be back to basically give y'all my final thoughts on that video. Be back in a sec. Enjoy the clip.
Yes, for months, and we uncovered additional concerns about how at-risk children are treated.
ABC 15's Navita Fergani spoke with a former CPS worker who says some caseworkers just aren't doing their job.
That's right, Steve and Katie. This caseworker actually worked for Arizona CPS, but quit because she was so frustrated with the system. And in my exclusive interview with her, she goes into great detail about how some caseworkers use shortcuts and others abused power during their investigation.
It's the agency responsible for protecting Arizona's children.
The mission of the government, I think it is to keep kids safe.
But one former CPS caseworker who asked us to hide her identity says Arizona's system is broken.
When you worked for CPS,
Did you feel that children slipped through the cracks?
Absolutely.
This former worker blames mistakes on a lack of accountability. And during her time with CPS, she says she was shocked at the confessions her colleagues would make.
Drive-bys are when you literally drive by the house. You don't actually stop and you don't do what's called due diligence. There were a couple of workers that would say, do you actually go out and knock at the door? And I'm like, yeah. Well, I do drive-bys. And I'm like, what is a drive-by? Oh, I just drive down the street. You don't knock? No. I've just driven down the street. It's nothing. You know, this report is really nothing.
She recalls one situation where she claims a child under state custody died from natural causes and the caseworker didn't know anything about it.
He didn't know the sex of the kid, and he didn't know that the kid had passed away.
But CPS Child Welfare Program Administrator Deborah Harper disagreed with those claims in an April interview.
But do you feel that cases slip through the cracks?
From my perspective, I don't see that.
We've also uncovered court paperwork supporting the claims of some parents who say caseworkers abuse their power. We found court documents of an open case where a judge goes on the record claiming a caseworker made up her mind to take away the children because she didn't like that the parents didn't react quickly enough during the initial visit. He accuses the caseworker of, quote, getting ticked off, unquote, and the judge believes that's why the children were taken away. And this former CPS employee tells me that's not an isolated incident.
They know that they have the power. People who have some perceived power, when you have the ability to do those things and somebody pisses you off, yeah, it can happen. Should it happen? Absolutely not.
But DES Director Clarence Carter tells me in a past interview that abuse of power doesn't exist within his agency.
Is there a generic issue with caseworkers bullying in our system? There is not.
And that former employee that we talked to, while she did say that there are some caseworkers that abuse the system, she did want to point out that there are others that truly care about the kids and practice due diligence. I currently have an ongoing request with DES trying to get the exact numbers of just how many caseworkers have neglected their investigations. And Katie and Steve, as soon as we get that, I'll keep you updated.
Yeah, we'll be waiting for it. Thanks, Navita.
Did y'all hear that? CPS Administrator Deborah Harper denies the claims that there were no children gone missing in the system. DES Director Clarence Carter denies that there are any bullying at all in CPS as far as his investigators or caseworkers are concerned. Lies. Former CPS caseworker that worked in Arizona State for this company came forward and told the truth. A former colleague told her that they do drive-bys after getting a case, after getting a report, watching these families like they're the police. There was a case where a child died in the custody of Arizona State CPS administration. This CPS caseworker said the reason why she took their children was because they didn't respond quick enough and got mad and took the children without probable cause. Illegal behavior, like I was telling y'all. What kind of mess is that? Seriously? Because the parents didn't move as fast as you wanted them to or respond as fast as you wanted them to, you got upset and decided to remove their children from their home. You are a piece of shit for that. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm saying it. And it's sad to say that I've met CPS, workers like this. from investigators to caseworkers. It's really sad. I have met some like this, and those people are fucked up, and they should not be working for the agency. This former CPS worker came forward to expose the truth about the evil, sadistic agency that we call CPS, that so many people think is a great agency. That woman quit the agency because I'm sure it had a lot to do with harming her health and her mind mentally, destroying her, messing her up mentally, because she couldn't believe what was going on in the very system, the very agency that she was working for. It was bad. She had to remove herself. My hat goes off to her. She did a great thing, made the right move by getting out from being involved with an agency that meant no good to parents and children alike. She did exactly what she was supposed to do. Children going missing in the system, CPS workers watching homes and doing drive-bys, CPS administrators saying that the claims are false or don't believe that this is going on, CPS directors saying that none of this is happening, there's no bullying within the agency, there's no abuse of power. There's so much abuse of power, people. So much. For an agency to have this kind of power and just completely get into people's lives and make decisions on their emotions and how they feel about parents, about a family, and just assume the worst just so they can remove children from their homes, from their family, from their parents. Just remove these babies and take custody of them, all because of what they think. And you know, most CPS workers do not have children, just to throw that on y'all. Oh yes. Most of them do not have kids, y'all. And that's a fact. That's why a lot of them couldn't possibly understand what we go through as parents to protect our children. They couldn't possibly fathom the stress and the hard work that we put in as parents to keep our children safe, not just from the people out in the world, but from the system itself. They don't know what we go through, man. All they know is what somebody calling and talking about, but don't even know for sure if that's factual. So they do their little investigation. And then when they come to a conclusion, either two things they're going to do: believe the other side about you and remove your children and put criminal charges upon you and put you in jail, or realize that it was all fabricated and it had nothing to do with you. It was just somebody being evil and fucking nasty and bitchy and hated you and wanted to hurt you, and they helped you keep your family together and close your case and move on and leave you the fuck alone. Those are the two things that are going to happen. Those are the two things that will happen. And you got to make sure as a person that this doesn't continue to happen. No one has a right to make your life a living chaos all because they mad and don't like you. These CPS workers don't have a right to be sitting there probing your kids, picking and looking to see, excuse me, picking and looking to see, oh, well, this was said, is this true? You can tell me if it is. You don't have to be afraid. That's how they do it. That's how they do it. And in so many words, when they talk to your kids, it's a bit of a coerce because they're believing the other side. Be careful, people. They'll do that shit. This is why you should talk to your children and let your children know the truth. Tell your kids the truth about the system. Stop hiding what these people do to get in your kids' head to make your kids say something about you that's incorrect. or turn your kids against you. Don't let them do this shit. Don't let them do this to you. You don't deserve it. Fight back. And they sit there and they thinking that this is supposed to happen. This is supposed to be this way. No, it is not. You talk to the parents. If the parents give you permission to talk to their children, then yeah, you can talk to their kids. Because see, when I went through that shit, I ain't have shit to hide. I knew that the allegations were fabricated and false against me about my kids, about what I was doing and saying to my kids. I knew they were. And when they asked me for permission to speak to my children, sometimes I gave them permission and sometimes I didn't, because I felt it was bullshit. When I did give them permission to speak to my kids, you better believe my kids told them the truth. They let them know, well, there ain't nothing that going on. My kids even asked them, why you think that's going on? Or why would whoever said that? My dad is not like that. My dad hasn't done anything like that to us or said anything like that to us. My kids have gotten upset with these people and start talking shit to them because they tired and stressed, about it too. They don't want to go through it anymore because we went through it so much, man. And for this caseworker to come forward and reveal the corruption of this agency is all more reasons to say that this is facts. Come on, people. This is facts. True facts. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. So, we have got to be better at dealing with the system. We've got to be better. We've got to realize that you have people that become CPS workers just so they can destroy families, just so they can hear something that's brutal and cruel that's going on in your home with your kids, just so they can remove them. Because see, it's about payday at the end of the day. Because remember, your children are the product. Oh yeah. I told you that before, early on in the show. Your children are the product. Remember that. They are the product. They are the reason why they get to go home and heat up that frozen motherfucking TV dinner and eat it. Probably eat it with the ice on it with their disgusting ass. They're the reason why they can go home and turn on their AC. Your kids are paying their bills. Remember that. Do not become a victim of this crazy mess madness. My hat goes off to that CPS worker. Thank you for coming forward and spilling the beans on this corrupt agency. Thank you. And to the CPS administrator, Deborah Harper, you should be ashamed of your damn self denying those allegations, and you know what's going on up in there. You lying ass woman, you know what's going on up in there. You just trying to save and cover your ass. And for the CPS director, Clarence Carter, you know that your employees are using the power of that agency to bully people and abuse their power. You know what's going on. Shame on you for trying to cover it up. And my condolences go out to the family of that child that died in the custody of that agency. My condolences go out to that family. And for the worker that was exposed for doing drive-bys and watching them families and shit, you should be ashamed too. You take your goddamn ass home somewhere and mind your business and leave those families alone. If y'all are a victim, do not become a victim. Do not even be a victim. Don't even stay a victim. You fight them back. You do what you gotta do. Do not let this happen to you. And this is just more factual information how, like I said, right there on the screen, right there, right up here on the screen. What does it say? CPS has become. CPS what? Has become the worst government agency in America. Don't become a victim. Keep your family safe. This next clip has to do with a TikToker. She is a TikToker, and people that watch her content, that's supposed to be her fans, called CPS on her after seeing her live on her content one afternoon, saying that she doesn't deserve to be around her child just because she wiped sweat from beneath her breast, and they called CPS on this woman, endangering her and her family, her child's life, and her career on TikTok as a TikToker, as a social media influencer. So watch this video, and I'll come back with my remarks on that video, y'all. So be right back, man. Enjoy the clip, and I'll be back in a second.
If you support me, this is a serious video, so please stay and watch it all the way through. Everyone knows that I have my fair share of haters, okay? It's no secret here. And I have no problem with people making videos about me, okay? I have no problem. I understand that people are not going to like me sometimes, that I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I also understand that we're going to have differences of opinions, and that I can deal with. You know what I mean? The common back and forth discourse, you know, when a troll comes on me at my account, or even somebody who makes videos about me because they just don't agree with the way I run my account. I understand that. But when you start going after my young son, that's when I have a problem. There's a woman on this app who has taken it into her hands to contact Child Protective Services on me. Not because she's worried about my son's well-being, not because she cares about me or my family, but because she cannot stand me and she is obsessed with me, and she makes videos about me on the daily. She has joined forces with another woman on Facebook, and they are feeding off of each other's negativity and just really taking this to the next level. Now, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm sober. I'm a good mother. I'm not worried about, you know, Child Protective Services taking my son, but it's the principle of the matter. It's the principle, you guys. This is wrong on so many levels. I am going to attach a screenshot so you guys can see this person verbatim saying it from their mouth that they called CPS on me. What did they call CPS on me? Because my boob was sweating while I was on a live stream, and I took a towel and wiped the sweat from underneath my bosom. Big titty problems. My son was nowhere in the vicinity of me. He was actually in the other room with his dad doing homework. This has all gotten completely out of hand. Like I said, I have no problem with you guys disliking me, but when you try to hurt my son who is innocent, and you know that I've already had Child Protective Services in my life before from my past addiction, this is wrong. This is wrong. I will attach the screenshots. I reported her to CPS today, and so did Carol. She's dangerous on camera with towels on her tiggo bitties. Her kid isn't safe. She needs a safety plan in classes. I really just want to move on from this and drop it, but I just thought I would let you guys know like what I've been dealing with and why I've been struggling so much lately. Love y'all.
Can you believe it, people? Can you believe it? People that are watching her content on TikTok, she's a content creator, a social media influencer, and they call CPS on her, talking about her big old titties, big old ditty, whatever, that she need classes? Really? She needs classes and all that stuff like that, and she doesn't need her child in the home. Her child wasn't even present when this happened. He was in the other room with his father doing homework. And then she stated that this woman had been pretty much harassing her online, making videos about her. Can you believe it? This is a complete stranger on social media. And she calls CPS on her along with her friend Carol. Seriously? Her and her friend Carol should be charged with harassment, defamation of character, and sued for pain and suffering, and false allegations. That's what her and her friend Carol should be charged with, because she is a social media influencer. She does her job on social media, TikTok preferably, to support her family. Her child wasn't even present in the room. So see, people, this is what I'm saying. Excuse me. This is what I'm saying. You can't even be on social media. You can't even do that. People are calling the police or CPS on you on a social media. Don't even know you. Know of you on social media and calling CPS. Wow. Now, at the end of this video, y'all, I have some information to read to y'all dealing with DFPS, Family Protective Services, Child Protective Services Handbook information. I have, I'm going to read some of that to y'all at the end of this show. But that'll be at the end of the show, okay? And I'm going to put it on screen for y'all because I know how y'all are. Y'all want to see it too instead of me just reading it. But back to what I was saying. That's really sad that she can't even make, content on social media because someone decides they want to call CPS on her for allegations that are not even true. These are false allegations. And she stated that, y'all know I've been through CPS before, but for someone to be on social media and see her wipe the sweat from beneath her bosom and call CPS on her because she's trying to say that her child isn't safe. You don't even know her damn child. And you didn't see her child in the video. And if she did, that does not mean she was being inappropriate by whatever she did on that video to wipe the sweat from beneath her bosom. That is ridiculous. And I went on that big titty problems. Big old bitty problem. But still, she shouldn't have gotten CPS in her life. And that's just facts. She never should have went through that. Now my advice to her is the next time she makes content, she needs to keep her breasts out of the camera. And if she's going to be wiping any sweat off her breast, she should, step out of the camera. And that's just advice so she can protect herself the next time something like that is to happen. So, but this person, this idiotic person, her and her friend Carol, they both sound like witches. Okay, y'all ever seen the movie Hansel and Gretel? When they cooked that witch motherfucker and turned it into a huge ass cookie? Yeah. That's what these motherfuckers sound like. The witches that Hansel and Gretel be hunting and shit in the enchanted forest. Like it's real. I laugh at these type of people that use the system to hurt people because they are funny to me. They are. It's funny to me that these people still try to harm people. But the minute harm hits them home or touches their front door, it's an issue. It's a problem. Oh, you're wrong for this. I'm going to get you on charges. The minute it happens, it's an issue. And see, we have to learn. Just because someone might be making content that may be inappropriate for you in your eyes does not mean that their children are in danger. Stop the nonsense, man. It does not mean that their children are in danger. All because you see something that you think is inappropriate. Oh, their children's in danger. We must call someone. Oh, that is fucking stupid. Just because she made a simple mistake of wiping her breast clean from sweat, you made it seem like her child was in danger. Really? And she needs her child removed and she needs classes to be a better parent? What kind of mess is that? So how can we you know, how can we even live our lives if we can't even go on social media and create content to entertain people without people thinking our content is offensive and derogatory, and they call the police or CPS on us because they feel that our children are in danger? This is what I call a nosy Karen, a miserable Karen, a heartless Karen, a bitch Karen. That's what I call that. Somebody that has nothing better to do with their life but to butt into somebody else's and ruin what they have going on. She wasn't doing anything wrong. Just because she wiped her breasts of sweat. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like, really? Really? People go this type of extent. Just because she wiped sweat from beneath her breasts, it was a problem. Oh, wow. It was an issue. It was a danger. Like she was going to feed her son her damn titties or something. Like she was going to tell her son, come get under this titty. What the hell is wrong with this damn woman? What is wrong with this woman? Like, yeah, play with mom's tits. What is wrong with this woman? She started thinking of all kind of crazy shit. That's what gave her a reason to call CPS on the woman. Because she was thinking of all kinds of mess, crazy mess. There's no telling what's going on in that home for her to be on camera and cleaning her breasts. Oh my goodness, there wasn't nothing wrong with that. It was nothing wrong with that. She's not harming her son. At least she doesn't look like that kind of person. She wouldn't have came on social media exposing what's going on if she was such a harmful person. Even though that could be a twist for people that are doing bad shit. But from what I'm getting, it doesn't seem like she's that type of person. She stated that her son was in the other room when she was doing the video. He wasn't even present. That's what's sad about this whole entire thing. He wasn't even present. And this fool, this damn woman with big ass satellite dish glasses, look like they can pick up cable and shit. Her and her old miserable ass friend Carol probably in the next room making pumpkin pie. You got the nerve to call CPS on a woman. They miserable old tired asses. Ridiculous. Man, if I had $1 every time somebody decided to call CPS on somebody all because of what they thought or what they felt, I'd be so rich. Seriously, I would. And every $1 that I would get from that, I would put toward crushing assholes like that call CPS on people and use it to mess people's lives up. And then I would use it to fight against CPS for the corruption toward that case that they're messing people's lives up about. See, people, come on. You don't lay down and just take it. You're not a dog. And I'll say this here. That woman had every right to post that and expose that foolish woman harassing her and making videos about her. See, that's defaming of character. She can charge her for that too. She can sue her for that. My advice to that sister, you keep doing what you're doing, sister, and you keep taking care of your son. Fuck that bitch that called CPS on you, her and her friend Carol. And they need to go keep making pies and putting them in the fucking window. That's what they need to go fucking do. So, don't y'all be a victim of this on social media. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm sure as heck not trying to be a victim of that either. Because I'm not going to let nobody come my way and do that shit all because of a social media video. I'll have your ass up on charges real quick. So, be careful out here and be careful what you post. And be careful what you do on social media, people. Now, this next clip is dealing with a family that had their children illegally seized by CPS, and they were paid a sanction of $120,000 and the judge had ordered the CPS to leave this family alone and stay out of their lives. So I'm going to let the clip speak for you. Check it out. And I will return to give my final thoughts on it. Check it out.
Child Protective Services took their children. Now CPS is being ordered to pay that family more than $100,000. Janelle Bluter joins us live downtown with what happened here, Janelle.
Lynn, what started as a trip to the ER ended last night here at the Juvenile Justice Center. That judge not only ordering that $127,000 sanction, he's also telling CPS to stay away from the family, and he's ordering the entire department to undergo training. Happy, healthy, bouncing his tiny heart out. Got you. For 9-month-old Mason, a fall at home escalated beyond explanation.
The accident and injury in and of itself is already a nightmare.
It started back in July. His mom, Melissa, sat Mason down on a chair. She turned to help 2-year-old Charlotte when he fell off. With 2 skull fractures, doctors had a hard time making sense of it, so they called CPS.
He had to have rolled or flipped or fallen and maybe bounce. I don't know what happened exactly.
But she says they went along with CPS's orders voluntarily. The kids were put with family in Baytown while everyone tried to help Mason heal. But the back and forth between homes wasn't working, so when CPS stopped returning their calls, the family decided it was in their son's best interest to take him home. The mom says they told their case manager, and for 22 days the kids were home. Then one night, CPS showed up and under emergency orders took the 2 kids.
It was deafeningly quiet in our home.
It was then the parents hired an attorney. After subpoenaing CPS records and communication, attorney Dennis Slate found inconsistencies and falsifications, including a statement that CPS claimed they did not know the children were at home.
It's not just a mistake. It's not like they didn't make the right call and okay, we're just checking it with the courts. It was, we know we're not making the right call and we're going to violate someone's constitutional right to raise their children by removing them based upon our lies.
The family's attorney took these before a judge where he says the case manager pled the 5th and his supervisor couldn't offer much more. A day after the judge's order, the family is home together again. The case is dismissed, but their need for justice is far from.
How is CPS so protected that they can get away with actual crimes that other people would be accountable for?
Well, the parents say they don't believe either employee involved should be allowed to work with children ever again. CPS has released a statement saying both of the employees are still employed and that CPS is reviewing the ruling and looking at all options, including their right to appeal. Standing for Houston, Janelle Bluter, KHOU 11 News.
Wow, that is quite a story, Janelle. Thank you.
Can you believe what you just saw? Can you believe this? Inconsistencies with the report. Didn't know the kids were at home, but you took them from the home. Lies. The child was sat in a chair and she went to help her other child and the baby fell out of the chair or the couch or whatever. Took the child to the hospital. Doctors say they couldn't find out what was going on, some unusual injuries of some sort. So I blame the hospital because the hospital is the one that called CPS. You can't even take your child to the hospital. That's ridiculous. Aren't hospitals supposed to help you, if your child gets hurt? That's the reason why I tell my kids, be careful going outside and play. Be careful with your bodies. Take care of your bodies. Because if you get hurt or injured while outside playing with other kids or outside playing with each other or yourself, and you go to the hospital, they're going to blame your dad for your injuries. They're not going to sit there and be like, and listen to you saying, oh, it was my fault. I was playing and I hurt myself. It was an accident, but I'm okay. It's not my dad's fault. They're not going to listen to my kids about that. They're going to think, oh, well, the kid is just just don't want to tell the truth. They're just protecting their dad. So we're just going to call someone and to investigate, to look into this. You know, hospitals are the worst place to take your children. And that's supposed to be a place where you can get your child help if they hurt themselves. You can't even take them to the hospital. Damn. You can't help your child without dealing with CPS, without dealing with the cops, without getting charged and going to jail. You can't even help your kid. What the hell has this world come to, man? Unusual? They couldn't figure out what was going on with the baby? Because the baby fell. Because, you know, at a certain age, you know, the babies, they know how to, you know, move and roll and stuff. So that's more than likely what happened. Now, my advice to her, she shouldn't have put the baby anywhere where the baby could fall. She should have put 2 pillows on side the baby so the baby couldn't roll, or at least put the baby in a bed where it couldn't roll out, you know, the bed, like a crib or something. But still, the hospital is the reason why CPS decides to take her children due to a emergency removal, and then the report was inconsistent with the report. They lied just to remove their children, harassed these people, damn near destroyed these people's lives, damn near destroyed their children's lives. Them babies didn't deserve that, and them parents didn't either. And that's why they got their ass busted down, had to give their children back to them, and they had to pay these people $120,000, and the judge ordered them to stay away from that family. Leave them alone. That is ridiculous that they had to go through all that mess, all because of their, you know, lies. CPS lies. Once again, right there on the screen right there, CPS has become the worst government agency in America. Oh yeah, that's right. See, that's why I'm glad that I'm doing this show on this topic, because so many people have gone through the corruption of CPS and still has not had justice for it. I've went through CPS so many times, I still have not received justice for it. But I have my children. I'm with my children. That's what matters to me. That I'm in their lives, that they're in my life. And I got to say, I feel much more safe when I'm with my kids. I do. I've told my kids that before. I feel more safe when I'm with y'all because it's like they're the only ones I can trust. I can't trust nobody else. I may have went through some discrepancies with my children, but that's just because they had to learn. Now that they have learned, now that they have knowledge of how things work and what people do to hurt us, to hurt them, to try to get them to, say things that aren't true, to try to manipulate my children and lie to them and say things to them just so they can, try to take my kids. My kids don't fall for no more of that shit because now they understand, they see that this agency is not here to help. It's only here to destroy. And I'm glad my children have grown so smart and so intelligent. And now they realize that, hey, these people are against us. They're not for us. They're not trying to help us. They so busy trying to blame my dad for every damn thing and throw him in jail. My kids realize that now. They realize that shit now. And I'm glad they do. They realize it a lot. So don't come this way with that CPS shit or police shit. My kids aren't having that. And that's just a fact. They ain't having that. Because they understand now. They get it. This system, this agency is not here to help our family. The agency is not there to help your family, people. They're there to find information to make reasons to take your children, to break up your family, to ruin your life. They are not there to help your kids, like they say. They're there to get enough to where they can remove them and take them away and throw you in jail. This family went through all of that, and for what? All because a caseworker or a CPS investigator decide, oh, we need to remove the kids. And look what happened to him. Case manager pled the fifth. Didn't want to say nothing, didn't have nothing to say. And the supervisor had nothing to say because the supervisor couldn't even help the case manager. He was like, oh, I don't know. That's what they do to protect themselves, because they know they're wrong. They don't want to admit the wrongdoing. They don't want to admit the wrongdoing. And that's the sad part about this damn agency. They never want to admit when they're wrong. They're so busy trying to hightail it out of there and save themselves and their jobs and careers to where they don't even want to admit they're wrong for doing wrong to this family, for hurting this family, for nearly destroying this family. But their asses got burned. And the judge ordered them out of their lives forever and to pay them $120,000. Sanctioned them to, and they ain't got no choice but to give it to them. Now that family is living happily ever after. They got their happily ever after, but they still haven't got their justice. So there's still some pain. There's still some pain. They should sue the goddamn pants and panties off that damn agency. That's exactly what they should do. They should sue their asses. And that's what needs to happen. I'm sorry, it just does. They should put these people in a predicament to where they will never do this again to a family that don't deserve it. They did not deserve that. They didn't deserve the allegations, the inconsistent information. They didn't deserve for the hospital to call CPS on them, all because the child was injured over something that, really, wasn't their fault. Not like that, at least. She didn't think her baby was going to roll off the couch and fall, because the baby probably hadn't been doing that. She didn't know from a split second that she put the baby down to go and help her other child that the baby would fall off the furniture and hurt itself. It was an accident, CPS. It was an accident, hospital. And y'all made it look like an intentional mistake. No, an intentional incident. Like she just purposely hurt her baby, hurt her child. That's ridiculous. Do not suffer this bullshit from these hospitals. You take your child to a hospital, they're supposed to help your child. They're not supposed to call CPS on you, all because they think you intentionally did something to your child or abused your child. These people did right by getting a lawyer and getting that shit straight and getting their kids back. Hand off to them. They did the right thing. Fight for what's right. Do not lay down and just take it, like I said. So, and also, yeah, that happened out in Harris County, y'all. So if you're in the Harris County area, take this to be a lesson. Do as this family did and fight for your children. And don't let them just take your children, all because of their inconsistent actions, all because of what they think. Don't let them screw you over with their corrupted ass. You screw them back. You fight back. Real talk. Fight back, y'all. And that's great that this family is now back together. That's great. Fight back, y'all. So this next video is based on a CPS investigator comes to this man's house and, wants to talk to him about some allegations about him and, about him doing something to his daughters. Okay? And I'm going to tell you right now, that man wasn't laying down and taking it. It got to the point to where the CPS investigator, she hightailed it out of there. So I'm going to let y'all watch this video and let the video speak for itself, and I'll be back with my final thoughts. Okay, y'all? So make sure you be ready to hear those final thoughts. Enjoy the clip. Be right back with my final thoughts on that video. Here you go.
Okay.
All right.
So
How can I help you?
Yeah, I'm from Child Protective Services.
Uh-huh.
Are you who are? Who are you, sir?
The owner of the house.
Okay, what's your name?
What's that have to do with it? You want my name for what?
Yes, because there's an allegation.
Uh-huh.
And then I need to discuss it too.
What's the allegation?
I have to know who I'm talking to first.
Well, you're gonna have to tell me the allegation. You're talking to the owner of the house here.
Okay, are you Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Okay, and then do you have, what are your daughter's name? I had to identify you first, sir. I cannot just discuss the allegation to you before I identify you. Unless...
Well, unless what?
Unless you don't want to talk to me right now.
Well, I want to talk to you, but you know.
Okay, so...
What is the allegation? Who called?
I can't tell you who called.
Okay.
Okay? I cannot tell you that.
Because I'm very scared right now.
Why would you be scared?
CPS, you guys take our kids from us.
Not all the time.
All the time. I just looked at the statistics of how many kids are taken from people and how many kids get lost in the system, how many people get raped, how many, you know, it's scary. I'm very scared right now.
I understand that. But at the same time, there are a lot of children that have been abused.
Well, yeah, well.
And that's the reason why I'm here. Just because there's an allegation that
Well,
doesn't
you need
mean...
to first of all tell me who the allegation is coming from. Do you have probable cause?
I can't tell you who.
Then I can't talk to you. If you can't tell me something, then I can't tell you
No,
anything.
you're asking me to tell you who called the allegation, and I cannot do
Listen,
that.
if I am being accused of something, right, by law, I am supposed to be able to face my accuser. Is that correct?
But if you don't want
to... The First Amendment states that I have the right, the people have a right to be secure in their persons, their houses, and their papers and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures, and those things shall not be violated, right? Unless you have a warrant, no warrant shall be placed upon the probable cause supported by an oath, an affirmation, okay? And declaring describing the place to be searched, or the people in there to be seized, and the things to be seized, right? And I have a Fourth Amendment right. Do you know what my Fourth Amendment right is?
Okay, sir.
Do you know what my Fourth Amendment right is?
Well, that's not important to me right now.
I know it's not. I know it's not, but it's important to me.
Okay.
Because you
as long as you know it, that's fine. But the only
no,
reason...
do you know it? Are you going to protect my rights as an agent?
I can't disclose anything that I discuss with anybody else.
I know, as an agent.
Yes.
Are you here to, what's your objective here?
My objective is to make sure that the children are safe. It's not about you.
Do you think that I am a bad parent? Is that what you
say? I can't say that because I barely met you like 2 seconds ago. So how am I going to say? It's not me to judge. The only thing...
What are you looking for? What are you here
What
for?
I'm looking for, I'm here to interview you and the children. I already see I saw your daughter already. The only thing
Who gave you permission to see my daughter?
Okay, sir. We can do two things.
I know, I'm just asking you.
No, but let me say
Who gave you... I'm just asking
the
you.
agency. Because
You have a right to go talk to my children, my underage children, without my authority?
Well, if you say, when I came here earlier, you could have told me, no, don't go and talk to your child, and that would have been fine.
I was not here.
Okay, then you were not here, but I had to talk to the child because there's an allegation. I had to find out if the child is okay.
Who is the allegation coming from?
I cannot tell you who the allegation is coming from. It's either...
Well, then you are violating my rights.
Okay, then...
Because you have a right to tell me who the accuser is.
No, I can't.
I don't know where you'll get your authority from.
I can't even
But you can't come here and just tell me, oh, somebody just called and now I'm going to take your child.
I didn't say I was going to take your
Yeah,
child.
if that's where it's leading to.
No.
Okay, what if I was found to be a bad parent? What if I was found...
Then we'll take the next step.
Is taking the child, okay?
I didn't say that. The next step may not be taking the child. And not all the time we can take the child. If you have relatives, there's other things that we can do to do that. But that's not where we're going.
If I have other relatives?
Yes.
No.
If the
I
child
want
is
you
not
out of
safe,
my life. That's what I want. I want you out of my life. I'm not you personally.
I understand.
Not you personally,
I'm
but CPS. Your people come, you all have taken people's children without legal authority. without court preparation, without any warrants, without everything, and they'll come and take it up to you. Now, if you tell me who made the allegations, we can move a little
I
further.
apologize. I can't.
Hey, sir, we have a question about why your office, your intelligence division, is investigating private citizens for criminal investigation that happen to be activists that are overseeing your department. Why would you have your intelligence?
Miss Mondesi?
Wow. Did y'all see how he handled that situation? I mean, he started running down his rights and his laws, you know what I'm saying, to her ass. And she didn't even want to tell him his Fourth Amendment right. She didn't want to tell him about the allegations. And he kept telling her, I'm the owner of the home. I'm the owner of the home. Oh, are you the guy with it? Excuse me. And she said his last name, and then he was like, yeah, that was me. You know what I mean? He completely demolished her ass. And he also told her, you weren't supposed to be even speaking to my kids without my permission. Oh, well, I came to the home. He like, well, I wasn't here. And that gave her enough reason to go speak to the kids. No, you should have called him and asked for permission. You don't just go up to their school or wherever they are and just speak to those children without his permission due to any allegations or because you investigate. No, you did not do that. I can care less about the policy that they, that they have as far as this so-called CPS policy that gives them the right to just, abuse your civil rights like that. No, that is not how that works. He ran her ass down so much to the point to where she had to get the hell up out of there. He went in the house to go stop a recording that, or a video that was playing. Come back. He called her. She didn't even want to come back. Ran her ass off, ran her down about his rights and about what she should have been doing, about coming to his home, questioning him about who he was. He had every right to say, okay, tell me what the allegations are. He had every right to refuse that. He had every right to do that. And the man did a due justice for a lot of parents. A lot of you parents need to do that. You need to make sure you know your rights when these people come to your home. Because I know my rights. And y'all need to know y'all's. This is what I'm talking about, y'all. This is the problem that we have with these CPS workers. You have a policy where you refuse to tell anyone something unless you know who they are. So, okay, we have to identify ourselves first, especially if we're telling you we're the homeowner. We're the homeowner. That should be enough identification within itself. But it wasn't. She needed a name. So when she mentioned his name, he said, okay, yeah, that's me. Now what? Tell me about the allegations. Oh, well, I can't, sir, unless I confirm who I'm talking to. He already had confirmed it. Twice. He was the homeowner. Second, he told her that's who he was when she mentioned his last name. So he confirmed his identity twice, and she still refused to give him the information that he was asking for. And then he ran her ass down with the laws, his Fourth Amendment right, and his right, to face his accuser. By law, that is true. You have a right to face your accuser if there are any allegations towards you. By law, you have that right. Not just in a damn courtroom either, outside of it as well. So if somebody tell you, oh, well, don't go speak to that person that accused you if you know who they are. No, you have a right to go address that person. You have every right. It is not against the law to address your accuser. It is not. By law, you have a right to oppose your accuser, to speak to your accuser, to face your accuser. And he did just what he needed to do. And she ran her ass off. Didn't want to wait patiently until he went in the house to go and stop whatever was playing, an audio recording or video, whatever it was. But he comes back to get her to come back to speak to him. She didn't even want to come back. So he did what he was supposed to do. Whatever these allegations were about his children, about his 2 daughters, she refused to give him the information even after he identified himself twice. So obviously she was there illegally. Obviously she was there illegally because she didn't want to give him any information. He confirmed who he was twice, and she still made it a problem. He gave her a hard time, put it like that. Put it like that. So don't, so let that also be information for y'all to take. Know your rights and know the law when it comes to dealing with this corrupt agency called CPS. Know your rights and know the law. Now, this next clip is the final clip of the show. And after that clip, I'll be coming back to give my final thoughts. And then on to the bonus clips. Thank y'all for coming to the show. So I'll be back with my final thoughts after this next clip. This brother is explaining how CPS was weaponized against him by a mother of his 2 sons. His sons are adults now, but he's explaining what happened to him and what he had been through dealing with CPS. So I'll be back with my final thoughts on that video. See y'all in a minute. Enjoy the clip.
Greetings, Macadine family. Camille Shabazz here of Macadine. Hoping all is well with you and yours. I just wanted to briefly go into CPS. That's Children's Protective Services that are well known throughout America and especially in the black community. And like my experiences with the court system and child support, I've had a lengthy exchange, or should I say experience, with CPS. And what's so sad about my experience with CPS, and there has been at least 5 occasions that I can think of, but all of them were false reports, and all of them were done in a weaponized fashion to take me out of the position, the qualified position that I was in at the time and remained in. My children are now grown. The whole period of time I remained in the position to take care of my children, my 2 boys, who are now 28 and 27. I'm now a grandfather. But, so, back to the CPS and these calls. When you're going through these breakups with these sisters, brothers, like I said, they're going to weaponize your children. They're going to weaponize everything that they can to take you down. And along with being taught and trained on how to call 911 for anything to get you to do what they want you to do or don't want you to do, they use CPS the same way. They don't care. Once they are blinded with the desire to take you down, no holds are barred. None. So, CPS. Now with me, they were ridiculous, but at the same time, what these sisters don't know and what American women don't know generally is that these agencies are nothing but breeding grounds for prostitutes and strippers, among other things. Breeding grounds for sexual deviance. Bottom line. And if you look at the history of CPS and the history going back to 1875 of the Children's Aid Society, you will see how they were running children. They were breaking up families, mostly white, breaking these families up and sending these boys and girls all up down the coast, the East Coast, from New York all the way down to Florida. And what it was really masking, as it is today, is child sex rings. These are partially governmental funded agencies, but they're really privately owned too. You got a lot of private institutions involved in this. So, like I said, these are breeding grounds. They're using and have always used these agencies for sexual purposes. That's all. That's the root of all of these so-called humanitarian agencies. So they're not aware of this, and they're weaponizing CPS, making these false reports, causing you or trying to cause you to be unqualified once they try to take you to court to have any type of custody. They don't even want you. They would love for you to have just visitation, because that would still give them power over you, and in their minds it's disgracing you. So they wouldn't mind that. But bottom line is they want to be the ones in control. They want to have the money coming from you, and they also want to have custody of the children. And this is totally against the laws of nature. And this is actually new in America over the last 40, 50 years, where women have been just taking their children without a fight from the men. No, by law and law of nature, and up to very recently, men had the power over their children, as it should be. Absolutely as it should be. Because there's a need, a absolute vital need for the presence of a man in both children's life. So please, back to what I'm saying, brothers, you gotta safeguard yourself. You gotta safeguard yourself. You gotta dot all your I's and cross all your T's, because all parts of American institutions are weaponized against men, but more importantly, weaponized against black men. CPS being one of them. So beware. Keep all your receipts, and never be found being abusive. And see, anything is abusive when a man does it today. They can yell at your children, they can smack the hell out the kids, kick them in the ass, hit them with broomsticks, and that's looked at as being discipline. But if a man just pops his son or daughter on the butt, that's considered toxic and abusive. So please be careful and let your mind and your psychology and your ability to verbalize how you feel be up front and in control. More later. Have a great day.
Wow, wow, wow. Unbelievable. As you can see, that brother just jotted it down for a lot of us brothers, a lot of us black men. The video speaks for itself. I don't even think I have to, commentate at all on that. He said everything that I've been talking about this whole entire show, especially when it comes to the sex shit. These systems, these agencies are being used for sex crimes. False allegations as far as sex crime is all about sex, prostitution, money. Like I said before, your children are the product. I told y'all, your children are the product. Some of these women don't care how they hurt you. They go to the extent to hurt you with this system. That's what they do. Especially if they're trying to hurt you to the point where they make up stories. You have these women will have their children lie for them to embarrass you, to harm you. Will weaponize the children against their father. Will weaponize the children against their uncle, against their brother, or their friends, or anyone, just to get what they want. Using this system to harm us. And I agree with him. It's supposed to be in the power of the man to control the kids. We are the leaders. We are the kings. We are the ones that are supposed to have the authority over the children. Not saying that the women shouldn't, but we should have more of the authority over these kids and what happens with them than the woman. Now, y'all can disagree with that. And that's fine. That's what I'm saying, and that's my opinion. That's how I feel. So, there should be a man always in the home. Okay? Whether a girl or a boy, there should be a man in the home. But now these days, the system has taken the father out of the home, and the women have become powerful and have abused their privilege and power over time. Lots of women have abused their power and privilege over time and weaponized the system and the children against us black men to destroy us, to break us down, to show us that they're the superior ones now. I beg to fucking differ. We are still the superior. We are still above. We are still the kings, and we are still in charge. And the only reason why these women have so much power is because of the very system that they have convinced to work for them and not for us. This is their way of fighting against the men. This is their way of ruining our position. This is their way of doing so. And we men, you brothers, you black brothers out here, take a stand and do not let some of these women out here with evil intentions harm you and weaponize your kids or the system against you to destroy you. Stand up, brother. Stand up, my brothers. Stand up and fight. Real talk. So I agree with that, brother. Thank you for the video, brother. If you ever see this, thank you for that information and advice. Because a lot of us black brothers, we need it. A lot of us black and brown skinned brothers, we need it. So many of us have been damaged and destroyed and put beneath the system, the jail system, over some things that were fabricated and that were lies. And we have been punished long enough for bullshit. We've been punished long enough, goddammit. My advice, all black, brown, skinny brothers, come with me and stand against this corrupt CPS system that a lot of these women think they can use to keep destroying us. No more. Let's fight back. Let's show them why we were the kings and they were the queens. Let's show them why we ruled and they stood by our side and watched as we molded and shaped our kingdom to be what it is, to preserve peace and loyalty and honor, to preserve the lands. Let's stand together, brothers. Let's stand together. And for all the good sisters out here that's not doing this, come stand with us and help us fight. Stand with us, sisters. Stand with us. Help us fight this war against us. And help us, fix and clean our image. Because our image has been made to make us look like monsters. And like the brother said, it is true. A woman can whoop their ass with belts, sticks, all that shit, pipes, and it's shown as discipline. But a man touches his child, is shown as toxic abuse. He is right about that. We can't even touch our kids because we're the man. Oh, it's abuse. But a woman can do it and it's not? Do you see the double standard here, people? Do you see the biased behavior of a system that we have? Ridiculous. So I'm not going to say much more on that. The video speaks for itself. I just wanted to add my little 2 cents on that, y'all. So be careful, brothers. Stand and fight. And all the good sisters out there, please stand and fight with us so that we can take back our honor. So that we can take back our honor. Okay? Do that with us, good sisters. But all you bad sisters out there, prepare yourself to be put the fuck back in your place where you belong. Prepare yourself to be upset and challenged for toward the very system that you so believe in to try to get your way and destroy us and hurt us. Prepare yourself. All you bad horrible sisters out there. Y'all prepare yourself, because the storm is coming and the times will be changing again. And this time it's going to stay that way. No more will you use the powers that be to destroy us. We deserve the right to have a say-so and word of what happens with our kids. We deserve the right to discipline our children just as much as you do. So no more to all you horrible, bad sisters out there. Women, period. Matter of fact, to all you bad, horrible women out there. I ain't talking about all you women, but a lot of you, you know I'm talking to you. Stand with us, good sisters. Stand with us, all you brothers that's been hurt and destroyed and broken. And let's take back our lives. Let's take back our crown. And let's become men again. Now, I hope y'all enjoyed the show. I really appreciate y'all coming to the show. Get ready if you made it this far. Make sure y'all follow me on my platforms, TikTok and Twitter and Twitch. Okay? Make sure you follow me on those platforms. Hit your boy up right there above the screen. Cash App, hashtag Big Tony Main. You know, support the channel. Support your boy, man. All right? So get ready for these bonus clips. Now, the first bonus clip you will see is basically, she is an attorney. I don't know her name. Didn't research it. But she is an attorney. And basically, what you're about to see, what she's going to talk about is how to fight false allegations of abuse in family court. Okay? That's the first bonus clip. All right? The second bonus clip will be by a sister who calls herself, by a sister named Marissa V. Grayson, Esquire. She will be talking about child custody, and if your child's other parent makes false domestic violence allegations. Oh, wait. No, wrong one, y'all. Sorry, it won't be that one. Won't be that one, my bad. The next clip is by the sister Marissa V. Grayson, Esquire, but it will be about child custody, and it will be about false abuse allegations by one parent against the other. That's the clip that will be showing after the attorney. Okay. And the final clip will be on former Senator, I forgot her name, y'all. I forgot her name. Hold on, y'all. Let me remember what her name is. Well, I could just look into this here. I'm sorry. So the very final and last bonus clip will be former Georgia Senator Nancy Schaefer, and she pretty much exposes the truth about Child Protective Services, exposes the evil CPS. Okay? Now, after that, well, maybe just right before that, I'll be coming back to pretty much let y'all know, what I told y'all earlier about myself, some information. And hopefully y'all understand. And hopefully, hey, you support your brother Tonyrealthegod, because I've been going through a lot. So, I'll see y'all soon, and enjoy the bonus clips. Be right back. I do apologize, y'all. I know I said that the bonus clips are coming up, but I forgot to place one clip for y'all about this woman who took in a child, from a friend or a family member, and, something was medically wrong with the child, and she was blamed for it because she couldn't afford to get a doctor to follow up an appointment to look into the child's health condition, and she was accused of neglect, and she got 15 years in prison. So I want to show y'all that clip, and don't worry, I won't have any remarks on this one. I'll let y'all have the remarks in the comment section below. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this clip, all right? And I'll be back.
Michigan's Child Protective Services investigates more than 90,000 reports of suspected abuse.
No doubt they save lives, but all too often attorneys say children are taken from innocent parents.
Tonight, 7 Action News reporter Kim Russo shows us why it's so important to know your rights if CPS comes calling.
We want to be clear. This story is not against Child Protective Services or police. People who investigate child abuse dedicate their lives to saving kids, and they do just that. But sometimes there are mistakes. It costs one woman everything. She wants to make sure people know it can happen.
There is no amount of compensation that can ever get back what I've lost.
Julie Balmer lost almost everything when she tried to do the right thing. When her sister said she couldn't raise her newborn son, Julie took in baby Philip and offered to adopt him. Then when he was 5 weeks old, he suddenly stopped eating.
When the results came back, they said that there was bleeding in the brain.
A doctor at the hospital diagnosed him with shaken baby syndrome. Julie, in her 20s, with few resources, found herself unable to pay a doctor to review that diagnosis at trial. She was sent to prison for 15 years. After almost 5 years in prison, the Innocence Project helped exonerate her. An expert found an MRI that proved little Philip suffered a stroke, not trauma. However, by then, Philip had been permanently adopted. She had no right to see him.
To be told that I would have no contact with him, you know, that's a cross that I'm going to bear for the rest of my life. You know, that's a heartache.
Do I think the system works? No.
Child Protective Services defense attorney Sonia Cannon says all parents need to be aware. Even the innocent can find themselves under investigation for child abuse.
You better contact an attorney, and you better do it immediately.
It can happen at a hospital with an unexplained illness, or if your child says something that raises a red flag at school.
We don't need a warrant. We're CPS. We don't need a warrant.
This is video posted online by a local mom investigated after her special needs son said at school she didn't feed him when she says she simply changed his diet. Would you know what to do? She told the CPS worker, an attorney told her to ask what the allegations were before deciding whether to let her in the house.
Who told her that?
The attorney.
Is that true? I don't know. Don't call these attorneys because they don't know what they're talking about.
Technically, this woman doesn't have to let her in her home.
Attorney Cannon says this is a big question parents have, and you can see why. She recommends parents ask the allegations and then, based on that information, decide should they call an attorney or let the worker into their home because the home will help prove the allegations are false. After all, while the investigator does need a warrant to force entry, if you don't let them in, they may ask a judge to remove your children pending an investigation.
We are in the state of Michigan. Do you understand what we do?
Yes, I do.
We can't remove children.
Julie says the devastating lesson she learned is don't let the fact you know you are innocent result in you letting your guard down.
So as a layperson, you put your trust in them, and you don't expect the system to fail. And unfortunately, the system failed. And I just happened to be a victim of that.
Attorneys say if parents do speak to a child abuse investigator, be it a CPS worker or doctor, it is not a bad idea to grab your phone and calmly say you plan to record the interaction so there are no misunderstandings. A lot is at stake. The state has also provided this pamphlet to help educate parents about this process with the goal of protecting children. We'll have a copy of it at our website, wxyz.com. In the newsroom, Kim Russell, 7 Action News.
Thank you, Kim.
As you can see, we are wrongfully accused even by CPS, that evil, corrupt agency. She did 15 years for a problem that was not her own, for something that she did not do to this child, but was accused of neglect, and they falsely imprisoned this woman for 15 years, but she only did 5 because there was a program called the Innocence Project, Prove Her Innocence. She didn't have the money, and look what they did to her. So like I said at the beginning, I'll let y'all put the remarks on that. Y'all tell me what y'all think, all right, on, on that video, on that clip, because it was wrong what happened to her. And I'm glad that she is out and she's able to fight against the wrongfully accusations. So, once again, here are the bonus clips. Enjoy. and I'll be back with my final thought, pretty much final, communication with y'all on what I wanted to tell y'all. All right? So, enjoy the bonus clips. See you soon.
Ladies and gents, good morning to you and happy weekend. Today we are going to talk about something pretty darn serious, and it doesn't happen that often, but when it does, it's a pretty big deal, and these are pretty difficult cases. These are some of the most difficult cases. And I'm talking about when a spouse or a former partner accuses you of domestic violence and child abuse, and it's completely fabricated. And we're not talking about how they're describing an incident that occurred at, a fight that happened where, somebody got pushed. No, it's not that type of accusation. It's the type of accusation where you've got a normal, loving couple, and all of a sudden the spouse or the other partner is rewriting history, and they're saying that you've been horribly abusive your entire marriage. Maybe that you abuse the children, and there's not a shred of evidence that confirms it. Now, the real problem here is that how do you prove a negative? And whose job is it to prove that this didn't actually happen? This is not criminal court. It's not like the state or the other spouse has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you did these things. This comes down to a question of credibility. Who does the judge believe? Does the judge think it happened? And when you have a spouse or former partner who goes to great details and great lengths to make up all these events that have occurred, it can be very difficult and very confusing for a judge to figure out what's true and what's not. There are two different ways that attorneys can approach this situation. Now, many attorneys will be like, nah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It'll all work out. And that is not the approach that I recommend at all. I think that if you are in danger of losing your credibility, your reputation, your children, that you have to fight made up lies. And how do you do that? You have to become an investigator, and you have to attack the character of the person who's making up the lies. If there are other instances where this person has made up lies, or other instances where they've lacked credibility, you have to bring those up. This is a time where you have to depose someone. You have to ask them for great details about all of the alleged allegations of abuse. You have to point out inconsistencies. You have to poke holes in their story, subpoena records, look at text messages. You can usually find inconsistencies, but you have to look hard. So for instance, look at the time period where they said that all this abuse was occurring, and then look at the text messages that were occurring between the two of you, or Facebook Messenger. Like, was the conversations and the events that happened during that time consistent with what they're now saying happened? What about text messages between them and somebody else at the time? Did they ever go to see doctors? Did doctors ever ask them or do abuse screenings? Like, you really have to be very aggressive in defending your reputation, your relationship with your children, and your reputation to the court. You need an experienced lawyer who's not afraid to become aggressive in fighting for you and in clearing your name, and be willing to subpoena documents and talk to witnesses and spend the money to make sure that you still have a relationship with your children, and that you don't allow this person to make public records of completely fabricated allegations of abuse. You may have to, they may be able to get you fired. They may be able to get an order of protection. They may be able to really pin you down as someone who's an abuser. And if that's the case, contact us. We can help. And if you're in another state, make sure to talk to your attorney about all the things we're talking about, aggressive ways that you can clear your name. Don't roll over and don't agree. These are not cases where you can settle. These are not cases, unless they're willing to print, to write a retraction, unless they're willing to admit to the fabrications, you have to take this all the way, and you have to prove that they're wrong. So good luck. I hope that you're not in that situation. I hope that this never, ever happens to you. But if it does, know that there are things you can do, and it's not easy, but it can be done.
What's up, up, y'all? Marissa V. Grayson here, and you are watching Marissa V TV, where we talk about all things blended family. And for those of you who don't know me, my name's Marissa V. Grayson. I am a child custody and family law attorney, mediator, and co-parent coach, also known as America's blended family expert. But anyway, today I wanted to come on and talk to you guys about false abuse and false sexual abuse allegations, right? Why do I want to talk about this, you ask? Because unfortunately it's a thing. There are so many times that I sit in court and I listen to cases and I hear people make false allegations against the other parent, and whether it be abuse allegations, domestic violence allegations, sexual abuse allegations, we all know that many people lie in court. I mean, that's just, it comes with the territory of being in the court system. But to see the extent that people go to try to prove that the other parent is abusive when in reality they aren't is very, very frustrating and disheartening, because in the end, that situation never works out. So for example, I constantly see, and I've dealt with several cases where one parent will make false allegations against the other parent. And I mean, I'm not just talking about one allegation. I'm talking about an allegation, full-blown stories made up, producing fake evidence, having witnesses come into court and lie for them, just all bad, right? And the truth always comes out. And when that truth comes out, there are severe consequences that come with that behavior, and it's never a good situation for anyone to be in. So one reason that people do this is because, specifically in California, but in many other states as well, if one parent has found to be guilty of domestic violence or physical abuse or sexual abuse or even emotional abuse against the child, there's an automatic presumption placed against that parent that they shouldn't have custody. So a lot of times people make these false allegations in an attempt to gain an advantage in the custody proceeding or to alienate that parent from the child. What happens is the child is the one that's damaged, right? Because you got one parent over here saying this parent is abusive, this parent is abusive, drilling that into the baby's head or the child's head. You got this parent just trying to spend time with the child, and the child is torn. They don't know what to do. If they're an older child, they don't know if they should take up for the parent who's not abusing them. If they're a younger child, they're like, they might even start to believe that they're being abused. Like, it's just an all bad situation to be around. So in most cases, what people don't know is that in California, there's a law that says if you make false allegations and it's found that you have made false allegations against the other parent related to abuse or sexual abuse, then you can lose custody of your kid. So you make these false allegations not realizing that in the end you could be the one that doesn't have custody or the one that's placed on supervised visits or whatever the case may be. So it's just find another way to win your case. Like, if you can't win off of the real facts, then you might want to try to find another approach. Or you might just want to try to give the other parent decent time with the kid. I mean, anyway, whole nother video, whole nother day. But I just wanted to come on and say, if you have been accused of sexual abuse, physical abuse, just look up the laws in your area. Find out what your recourse can be, because there's probably some recourse. I know in California, you can actually gain custody of your child potentially if that parent is making those types of allegations against you, because of the fact that making those types of allegations when they're not real is a psychological issue in and of itself that would justify that parent having to go to counseling and get the help that they need, because you got to be a special kind of person to make those kind of allegations if they're not real. So anyways, that's just my 2 cents, my not so legal advice. More videos, catch me on Instagram. I am Marissa V. Grayson. That's Merissa. V as in Victor, Grayson. I'm also on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all of that good stuff. So find me, follow me, connect with me, and I will see you next time.
What's good, everybody? Now, I told y'all that I'd be coming back after the bonus clips, and I hope y'all enjoyed those 2 bonus clips. I have one more, for y'all with former Senator Nancy Schaefer. But before I get to that, I just want to say this real quick. Let me tell you just a little bit about what your boy Tonyrealthegod has been going through recently. Now, I won't go into detail because, case sensitive and, I can't talk about it like that, but I will paint a picture for you. So if you've been rocking with your boy Tonyrealthegod for this long, listen up and listen carefully. Now, I'm pretty sure, my mother is going to see this because she does watch my show, so hopefully she won't be trying to call me and be like, hey, blah, blah, blah. You know how moms can be, y'all. But I'll say this. Let me just express this real quick, and I want y'all to know this because y'all been rocking with your boy Tonyrealthegod, man. So recently, my sister, she's the second from the oldest of my mother's 4 children. And I'm the baby boy, of course. And recently, my sister has, put false accusations against me by calling CPS on me recently. And I've been dealing with that. I'm not sure, if they're going to be moving forward after the investigation or if they're going to close the case. But the allegations against me are false from her and her children. Her children has lied on me repetitively, said some things that I may have said and did that are that are not true. And a lot of times kids can say things so much to the point to where they believe it themselves. And it's all, not true. It's all lies. And I've said repeatedly, to anyone that has spoken to me about it, that I have not done whatever the accusations are that have been being claimed that I've done. I have not said or done. My sister is using her children, weaponizing her children against me to make it seem as if I have committed this heinous, horrible crime toward her and her children. And her children have repeatedly said these things against me, and they are false allegations due to one of her children being exposed of something that they had done, and it got exposed to everyone, including her, and all of a sudden, from what one of her children had done got exposed, all of a sudden then her and her kids started saying things about me that weren't true. And there has been a police report done against me on a, false allegations, but the crime that was reported is pretty much looked at as a crime. So all I would say is support your boy Tonyrealthegod, man. Keep me in your thoughts, and hopefully your boy Tonyrealthegod come out of this properly. But I just want to, properly and safely I come out of this. I just want to let y'all know that your boy Tonyrealthegod will be fighting, and this will not pass, and this will not be the last you see your boy Tonyrealthegod. I will still be here, and I will make sure that my sister does not win or prevail over me with these allegations that are false and using her children against me, weaponizing her children against me to harm me and my family and my kids on something that has actually nothing to do with us. It was something that was exposed about one of her kids that happened, and now she's looking to harm me for it. Even after all the apologies, because it happened on my watch, because one of her children were with me, And I did apologize for it happening, because I didn't even know that it was happening or going on. And I did apologize to her numerous of times. She called me and requested for the information of what happened, and I gave it to her. And all of a sudden, now I'm up on allegations, and a police report has been filed on me. So support your boy Tonyrealthegod. Keep me in your thoughts, and this will not be the last time you see your boy Tonyrealthegod. And I just want to tell you, y'all know I don't smoke on this channel, but this has been stressing me out. It's been stressing me out. It's been, concerning me, because this is a dangerous game that she is playing, her and her children. And I wish that her and her children would get professional help, seek professional assistance for what they're doing, because it's very sad that you can't come to someone about something that happened with your children, and then they accuse you of something due to the embarrassment of their child. So they decide to embarrass you and accuse you of some things that are not true, that you have not done. And I've repeatedly said that I have not done these things. I did not do these things. But it has been continued to be said about me as if I'm some sort of sick, twisted monster or something. So your boy Tonyrealthegod is going to fight this. I'm going to fight it, and I'm not going to let it break me. I'm going to continue doing what I do, keep bringing you this information for these shows. I'm going to continue to do my work and my due diligence. For all of you that's ever went through this with a family member, just know even your worst enemy can be your family. I don't wish anything bad toward her. She's been doing harm to me, mentally, and systematically for years, since my children were born. And not once have I made a move on her, and not once have I done her wrong. So I would say, for someone like myself not to do anything back to her, even though she's done so much to me, to where she would deserve for me to do things back to her and harm her family and put her life on the line, I've got to say that I've made the right move. I've got to say that I've been, right. And I've got to say, me not, taking action against her has been, a move that I've made, that I felt that, it just was unnecessary, because people are going to do what they want regardless. So why add fuel to the fire? I say let them burn themselves. So this is what's happening. She's weaponized her children, and the children have weaponized their false allegations toward me. She has weaponized her false allegations toward me and toward my children, toward me. So your boy Tonyrealthegod is up to fight, and I will end this one way or another. She will get what she deserves, her and her children. And I'm not making a threat, a public threat or nothing like that. I'm just saying the universe will make her pay for what her and her children are trying to do to me and my children. So if you're going through this, stand and fight. Don't let anyone put any false allegations towards you, even after you tried to be supportive and said that you didn't do, the things that they're claiming that you've done. Even when you have given the opportunity to prove you have not done what they're, allegedly saying that you're done, and it wasn't accepted, That's how you know that regardless whether it be proven or not, that person doesn't care, they're evil, and they want to hurt you. Appreciate y'all watching the show, and I appreciate y'all listening to what I have to say. So, just know, your boy Tonyrealthegod is going to fight. Take this as a lesson and advice that I'm giving y'all. It will not pass. You're looking at an innocent man fighting for the well-being of his children and his life from his own sister and her children. Thanks for listening, y'all. On to the very last bonus clip. Thanks for watching the show. See y'all soon. Holla at your boy.
My name is Nancy Schaefer, and I'm from the state of Georgia in the United States. And thank you for your gracious invitation to join you tonight. And thanks to all of you who have made this incredible World Congress of Families #5 in Amsterdam possible. It's a privilege for me to join you tonight and to be with you in some pro-family policy here. I will share with you on the unlimited power of Child Protective Services. I served in the Georgia State Senate, and after 4 years of viewing the ruthless and unsparing actions of Child Protective Services, also called CPS, which I will use tonight, I wrote a scathing report entitled "The Corrupt Business of Child Protective Services." Thank you. The report cost me my Senate seat. Here's some copies of the report if you'd like to get one. However, there are causes worth losing over, and this is one. I'm going to talk about some of the problems and then some realistic, maybe, solutions for families and children, and maybe look to some steps that we can take. This is not to say that there are not those children in wretched situations who need to be removed. There are, and we all agree. But tonight, I'm talking about those children removed from their homes intentionally for profit. Children are seized unnecessarily from their families due to the federal aid created in 1974 entitled the Adoption and Safe Families Act. It offers financial incentives to the states that increase adoption numbers. To receive the adoption incentives or bonuses, local CPS must have more children. They must have more merchandise to sell. Funding is available when a child is placed in a foster home with strangers or placed in a mental health facility and medicated, usually against the parents' wishes. Parents are victimized by the system that makes a profit for holding children longer and bonuses for not returning children to their parents. This is abuse of power. It is lack of accountability. And it is a growing criminal political phenomenon spreading around the globe. Oftentimes, but not always, poor parents are targeted to lose their children because they do not have the wherewithal to hire an attorney or fight the system. Being poor and lacking proper housing does not mean your children should be removed. CPS has redefined poor to mean psychologically inferior. Therefore, it is in the best interest of the child to be removed. Best interest, of course, has also been redefined at the child's expense. It has been reported over and over that 6 times as many children die in foster care than in the general public. Once a child is legally kidnapped and placed in official safety, the child is far more likely to suffer abuse, including sexual molestation and or rape. Case workers and social workers are often guilty of fraud. They withhold and destroy evidence, and they seek wrongly to terminate parental rights while being protected by state immunity. There is a huge bureaucracy made up of judges, court-appointed attorneys, guardian ad litems, social workers, state employees, court investigators, therapists, psychologists, psychiatrists, foster parents, adoptive parents, and on, who are looking to the children in state care for their job security. Judges have control over private living arrangements and income of 48.3 million Americans. The United States Census Bureau reported in 2002 that $40 billion in transfer payments were made between households of custody parents and other parents. That money, $40 billion, is under the direction and control of family court judges in environments covered with confidentiality laws that protect the wrong people. Fathers are victims of this unjust system. Child support payments, even without having visits with their children, are choking the very life out of fathers. 3 fathers, of whom I am aware and have been in touch with, committed suicide in the last 12 months because they lost the opportunity to even visit with their children. These are crimes against humanity for financial gain. Rights are removed from parents, human rights, civil rights, and even religious rights. One illustration of what took place in my district is that after so many calls, I decided to call a meeting in one of the counties of my own district. I personally called 37 families that had been in touch with me who had all lost their children, grandchildren. I had them meet me in the library one Saturday morning. We started at 9 o'clock and we ended at 9 o'clock. We had 50 families standing outside the door that could not get in. We didn't have time to talk with them. There was incredible anguish and profound suffering from these families. Some children had been taken off the school bus, taken out of the hospitals, or taken out of their homes in the middle of the night, and even worse. It was just an incredible ordeal. These parents, trapped in the system, become like refugees. They're dazed and glazed and have no one of whom to turn. They do not know what to do, and the loss of their children is devastating. After having worked in this arena for several years, I do not believe that a single child comes out whole after having been in this system. Many foster children make up the homeless population of today. I introduced legislation, Senate Bill 415, in my last session. A substitute bill was written at the last minute by the chairman of the Judicial Committee. All the strong points of my bill had been compromised. I was told, accept it, Senator. At least you will get some legislation passed. And I answered with, Obviously, you do not know me. I did not come to the Capitol to get legislation passed. I came to make a difference. What can be done? An independent audit should be called on every state of all Child Protective Services departments. I'm in touch with congressmen and state officials, and the door may be possibly opening very slowly. A federal congressional hearing is needed. But let me add, due to the hundreds upon hundreds of cases that I've been called to consider, I placed calls to state senators, representatives in their respective states across the country, asking them to help me with certain families. And I was told, if I help that family, or if I help you, I will lose my job. Remove, abolish the federal and state financial incentives, and those are taxpayer dollars. Those dollars have turned CPS into a business that takes children and separates families for money. Open family court. Remove the confidentiality laws. Give parents their rights verbally and in writing. I even feel that to terminate the rights of parents, the case should be heard before a jury. Family rights and parents' rights must be protected. We do not need more influence like the UN's Convention on the Rights of the Child. It's anti-parent, anti-child, and anti-common sense for the family. There has to be perseverance for any great reform, and great reform is needed in this area. As Charles Spurgeon put it, how do you tame a lion that is well fed? First, he must be brought down. Second, his stomach must be lowered. How do you tame Child Protective Services? It may be only by closing it completely and starting over at the beginning with pro-family values. In closing, let me remind you that there is case law from state appellate and federal district courts and up to the United States Supreme Court, all of which affirm the constitutionality of the rights of parents to actually be parents to their children. There's biblical law too. It goes like this: speak up for those who can't speak for themselves, and for the rights of all who are destitute. Speak up and judge fairly. Defend the rights of the poor and the needy. Thank you